Hey everybody, it's LavenderTowne. And a little bit ago, I did a video series where I tried to make a VTuber model. I started from just a scrubby little sketch to more or less a full-on face-tracked model drawn and rigged by me. And after all of the hours, the time, the struggle, and all that research, I was too shy to actually use her more than a couple times. So this week I decided I couldn't let my girl rot in my files for any longer and thought that I should live as a full-time VTuber for the entire week, streaming daily and following the content strategies of professional VTubers. First, I needed to do some more research. I started clicking on every VTuber who was suggested to me on Twitch. I saw a lot of gamers playing a full variety of different games, from story-based games, anime-style games, casual games, and of course more serious or intense dark games, as well as people who are working on stuff, maybe editing, making music, or of course lots of artists doing drawing and animation streams. And I also found a lot of VTubers who were just talking to their audience. They usually had all kinds of crazy ways that their audiences could like put in sounds and like throw stuff at them and all kinds of random stuff. And I also saw a VTuber who was actually doing a sleeping stream because she was in the middle of a very long subathon. For the first day, I went with the most common category that almost all VTubing streamers engage with at least a little, which is gaming. On this day, I tried to cover a variety of game genres, starting with Dead by Daylight, which is a game I enjoy playing in my free time. The games were interesting. Is anyone in here really good at DVD? Because if so, I'm gonna have to ask for you to leave because I'm so rusty. I'm scared. Jerry. Who am I playing as? I'm playing as this is a skin for Cheryl. Yes! That's all I wanted. No, goodbye. Good luck, team. I'm sorry, I was a burden. I'm talking about it and now I'm finally... What? Why am I screaming? Yeah, poker face is right. Okay, oh god. Okay, let's heal this person. Heal, heal, heal. He's just like, hello. Excuse me? I'm scared. I'm scared. Yikes! I don't have the hugest crush on Pyramid Head myself, but, you know, to each their own. We made it! Yes! Guys, I'm concerned that I'm not gonna get out of this game. I'm gonna be real. Basically, my brain was totally scrambled, making me worse at both streaming, VTubing, and actually playing. I didn't realize how hard it would be to juggle all of these things at once, but with an intense, like, minute-to-minute game like Dead by Daylight, I found it really difficult to focus, which made me a terrible survivor, a hilariously bullyable killer, and particularly kind of a quiet streamer, which is none of the things that you really want. I was also like constantly worried that my model was like glitching off screen while I was busy focusing on the game, so that was definitely a bit stressful. The next game that I played was Let's Build a Zoo, which I hadn't literally seen a VTuber playing, but it shares a lot of commonalities with games that are popular with VTubers. The pixel art style, the more like slow-paced coziness of it, and simulators are all popular in the VTuber space, so I thought it would fit. This was much easier to commentate and I found it a much more calm experience. And then lastly, I played a little bit of Quick Serve Delicious. I kind of just threw this in here as a extra little bit of variety to try to round out the gaming day a little bit, since it really was only getting one day properly. Day 2 was a drawing or work stream. Now this is the closest to a normal day for me. When I stream on Twitch, I usually do some kind of drawing stream, and usually it is something like work related just so that I don't fall behind because I'm streaming. So this day felt pretty normal. In order to make it feel more like appropriate for the video and for the challenge, I tried to stay in character more. I know there's a lot of debate about whether or not like VTubers are literally like just being themselves or if they're playing up a character a little bit. But in my like sort of study of it, it's definitely a blend of both. Most VTubers have some kind of lore to their characters that are obviously not literally true, and they incorporate that in alongside their real personalities to create sort of a blended half fictional, half true person. And so that's what I tried to stick with. It was really difficult because a lot of people in chat were asking me questions that only my my normal self would know, and I struggled a little bit, but I tried to be a little bit more in VTuber mode, in Lilybell mode, not in Haley mode. So that was a bit tricky. And yeah, I just worked on some unfamiliar related art, and the chat was really relaxed. This was definitely the easiest day for me. I remembered seeing some drawing VTubers doing a little thing where they'd actually like put a tablet in front of their model, and so I drew a really crappy, like hilariously crappy tablet to put in front of my model as well. And with that, Tuesday ended on a very calm note. So day 3 is when things started to get interesting. I decided to start the stream with tier maker lists, which was something I was directly stealing from a VTuber who I knew to be extremely successful on Twitch. In fact, she had actually topped the charts for having the most subs on Twitch for a moment, and then is still in 3rd place, which is quite shocking. That is insane for a very niche subculture. Initially, it really shows how much VTubing is becoming mainstream. So anyway, I had seen her doing tier maker lists. I looked into it and saw that a lot of VTubers make these, and so I decided to start the stream with these. It was kind of nerve-wracking because I realized I don't really share my like feelings on stuff very often, and it was a little, yeah, it was a little strange. Like I'm used to sort of not getting into it and generally trying to be sort of positive and very soft about everything, and it was difficult to do that while also putting things in D tier. I started with cereals as sort of a meme on the fact that she's like a cow girl, so you know, milk and cereal and all that. And then I did one on Pixar movies, which got very it got the chat really talking, which I realized like that's the benefit of doing these tier maker lists. It's kind of brilliant because it gets people talking about how they feel and everything, and it was a pretty good way to start the stream. I tried to focus the whole stream on really interacting with the chat and talking as much as possible, not going silent for any long period of time, just to really get that like just chatting experience as much as possible. You guys like milk before cereal? For real? I'm baffled. Granola busted, I agree. Rice Krispies is S. I will hear no argument. I will hear no debate. This is just factual. You never had Reese's Puffs. They're good. Ew, peanut butter. What are you talking about? You get free chocolate milk. That's true too. I haven't been considering the milk transformation angle of this. It's mid? Finding Nemo is mid? Okay. Well, I think it's S tier, but is this, which Cars is this? Is this Cars 1 or Cars 2? I can't even see. This is Cars 2. It doesn't matter. They're going to D tier. Actually, you know what? I'm putting it down here. I guess C stands for sequel. How dare you, you corporate freaks. Day 4, I wanted to work on the channel and make it more focused on my VTuber model so that it would be more like VTuber friendly. So I spent the entire stream animating and trying to interact with the chat a lot while also showing them something sort of fun to watch. We animated for like 2.5 hours straight, and it was an absolute blast. And we ended up with this emote, which I'm really quite proud of, actually. It's supposed to be sort of like a head bop, headbang, fist pump kind of animation. And even though I was feeling kind of rusty, it was an absolute blast to do with the chat. We definitely had some funny moments, and I felt like I was finally starting to get comfortable with being a VTuber and also just like being live and relaxing with the chat, which is a very important part of streaming. And every time I take a break, it's something I have to relearn. Since you're a VTuber, can you get an ara ara? Ara ara. Is that what you were looking for, Yume? I found that this was another day like the drawing day that felt a little bit more natural. Partially, I think, because I was just warmed up, but also partially because, you know, working in Clip Studio and talking to the chat is much more natural to me than playing video games or anything like that. It's just so easy to go silent when you're focusing really hard on a game, whereas I find, at least for me, usually the drawing was pretty easy, though when the animation got particularly difficult, I did find myself going silent again. But yeah, there's a lot of VTubers who animate on stream. Again, like, VTubers are often people who have at least partially worked on their model themselves, not always, and maybe not even like 50%, but there's a good chunk of VTubers who draw and animate, and for that reason I definitely wanted to include this, also because I just desperately wanted to fill in that animated emote slot. The last day was the one where I pushed myself the most and did some content that honestly I typically would never dream of doing. VTubers are kind of famous for their karaoke streams. It's just a huge part of VTuber culture. So I did one song and it was absolutely agonizing. Hey dude, sorry, I found nothing on the safari. I checked the upstairs of the house, but not the underneath yet. There's a chest that's just down there. We also did some React content, which is another thing that I would never really do, just because I'm not super interested in making it. I feel like I like watching React content, but to me, I've never thought that like my reactions are interesting enough to become like additive entertainment, you know? So I had my mods bring to me a variety of different VTuber focused clips and things to react to. I mean, it's pretty amazing, but the people in the background are really stealing the show. Hold on. Yeah, we're gonna have to pause them. What is that? What is that? What is that? Why is VR chat the scariest movie? VR chat's like 100 saws. Who did this to him? There was also a surprise on this day that basically broke my brain in the middle of the stream. That was funny because it totally sounded like it's like the real voice, but I know it's not.
$100.
Yume? Hey, Yume? What did you just do? Yume, Yume, what did you just do? Yume, what have you done? I want to thank everyone who came to the streams, and especially all of my wonderful mods. You guys are the best and you make it possible for me to stream, and I really appreciate you. If you would like to see any of the archived streams, they should still be available on my Twitch channel, which is linked in the description. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Huge thank you to all of my patrons, including Dumb Possum, Hannah Kendall, Jabber Dabber Doo, Teddy Spaghetti, Avant Grape, Gender Was Stolen, Haley, Beelzeboof, For Spookable, Bigish, it's Jamal, Kay, Rodrigo, Kubo, Momok, Kadaria, Deadly Nightshade Art, Maria Vasquez, Astrofox Art, Middle Z, Lily Allure, The Expressive Poker Face, Morrissey Axolotl, Subaki, Michael Lavalley, Cutie Pie, Rune Raincrow, Rainwater Pearls, Ice Cream Pal, Cola, Insadmia, your boy ST, JJ Jade, and of course, Libla Blah Blah.